As you can see, when I came in through the gate, you can see this fire burning from the gate area. So when this captain came through that gate, he would have saw this fire burning down here. But there was no fire if you saw the first video. And this is what they're saying. They came to extinguish this box here where this fire is, but there was no fire. If you look at the first video, it was only smoke, a little smoke coming out the box. So there's definitely no kind of emergency or reason. Once I told him that there was no probable cause to come onto the property to put out any fire. And in the state of Maryland, there are a lot of fire pits by citizens who sit out at night and have little fires. For him to come to a property that is under construction, it's clearly someone from Takoma Park called him in retaliation to try to harass me more. And this is a rainy day. And as you see the fire, as I'm backing up out, you can still see the fire, if there was a fire in the box at the time. And it's secure. So as this captain comes down here, he had no reason to enter the property when I met him at the gate and informed them, one, that there was no problem, and two, there was no fire. This is the gate that he entered. Right here. And as you can see flames. Flames if there were some in that box, or if there was an emergency. If there was an emergency or fire damage or hazardous. But as you know, this is March the 18th, 2021, and this happened around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it was raining, just as it is right now, raining. And as I get closer, you can see behind it that there is a aluminum partition to keep any heat from going in the back of that to start any kind of fire if it was a dry day. And as you can see around it, this is burnt stuff 7 days a week. I'm out here cleaning this property up, and I have a burning shrubbery in this fire pit. And as you can see, there's old cut leaves or whatever. So when this captain came here, he came here for one purpose: to try to intimidate and harass me by someone else's orders. Because one, there was no fire in this box when he came. If you look at the first video, when the fireman came up to it, it was only smoke, a little smoke coming up out of it. That's the fence. This is the construction that we're doing on this building. And anybody who does construction, there's always a fire and smoke. So why would you send a fire department to come onto private property? Let's go back up here and look at this sign. And put out a fire, a so-called fire, in a firebox that is already secured. Again, In Takoma Park, Montgomery County, there's a serious corruption problem and harassment in this. This is the sign, no trespassing, do not enter. And this is where the captain went through. They drove up on this street going in the wrong direction, came in this gate, walked around, and you can still see the little fire and a little smoke, and see that there is no problem because there's someone here monitoring that firebox. And this is where I met him at this gate. And then he wants to start talking shit, as though because he's a captain, he orders these other guys around, a citizen has to listen to what he's saying. It's time for people to put a stop to this. Hold these individuals accountable for their actions and get them fired. They work for us. We don't work for them. I could see if this whole place was on fire and there was a blaze, he had every right to come on there then. But once I told him there was no problem and there was no fire and he could see this firebox, he should have left the property when I asked him to. But his ego wouldn't let him go because he was butthurt. And then this little side bitch started talking the same shit. Talking about threatening a government official because they know they fucked up. This is why we must remove this immunity from these clowns, these government officials and these public servants, and hold them accountable for their action. The Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, makes it very clear that citizens are secure in their property. If there was a blaze here, I wouldn't have had no problem. But when I told him that there was a firebox and there was no fire, and he saw the smoke, comes over and he extinguished this box, orders another fireman to do it, he doesn't need to be a captain at all. And it ain't over with, because I'm going to make sure he gets his ass from being a fireman. And if they don't, then I'm going to sue the state of Montgomery County, Takoma Park, for this violation of my 4th and 14th Amendment right.